Hello there, previews for Star Wars Galactic Racer are out, and I am hearing a lot of negativity, so let's talk about it. Hello there, welcome to the channel, Covcos Cantina. Before we get started, make sure you follow me here and over on TikTok if you like talking about Star Wars. I certainly do. Would be honoured if you join us here. So, previews for Galactic Racer are out, and I've been hearing a lot of negativity, but not so much from the previews themselves, but rather from fans' reactions to the previews, that pod racing is not going to be a main focus of the campaign. The focus instead is going to be being on the repulsor craft, the landspeeders, and the speeder bikes. So it's being reported that they are excluded from customization, meaning you can't build your own pod or even customize the pods that you are going to be racing. They're not really part of the main campaign, rather popping up as special events every once in a while throughout it, and it mostly being relegated to an arcade mode outside of that campaign. The campaign is also sort of focused as more of a roguelike as well, which is interesting. So the pod racers not being the focus of Galactic Racer, people are kind of up in arms about this, really upset, annoyed, people saying they're no longer buying this game and they don't care about it anymore. I'm not going to say that this is a game-breaking thing for me or anything like that. I can see why people would be disappointed. I'm a little bit disappointed that there isn't going to be like a pod racing tournament. You can't make your own craft. It's a little bit like, oh, that's a bit of a shame. At the same time, I'm really not surprised by this at all, because from the very first trailer, I feel like it's been painfully clear that pod racers were never going to be the focus of this. The first two trailers are 99% repulsor craft, landspeeders, and speeder bikes. I'm just saying it was right in front of us the entire time that that's what the focus of this game was going to be. When the pre-order bonuses came out, they were all repulsor crafts based. Like, this shouldn't have been a surprise to anyone. Literally, going into this, I was like, I don't think pod racing is going to be a massive part of this. I thought that it was going to be like the prologue. I thought that you were going to play as maybe Sebulba during the Bunta Eve Classic in Episode 1, and that would kind of be it. Like I said before, it is a little bit disappointing that there won't be like a pod racing tournament, like where you do like a circuit of several things with the leaderboard and everything like that, like the old racer games and stuff like that. At the same time, like, because it does sort of feel like a bit of a no-brainer to have that. It feels like the easiest, like, slam dunk to have. Hey, make a pod racing game and make it that you can do pod races. It's what people have been asking for, it's what people want. So I do understand people's frustration with this, don't get me wrong. Now, all that said, having seen the footage of the game from these previews, however, all of this footage is from IGN's preview, I'm sold. I'm in. I honestly think it looks fantastic. I think it looks great. It's visually very appealing. I like the look and design of all the craft we're seeing. I love the old Burnout games. Burnout crossed with Star Wars? Yeah, sign me up. The biggest thing out of these previews, for me anyway, wasn't the reduced amount of pod racing for me. It was the fact that the campaign has a roguelike element to it, where if you are eliminated from the race series, which is where you come in last each lap, you're then eliminated from that race, you have to start that series again, which I find that to be a very interesting take. Now, they go on to say that you will keep any upgrades and unlocks that you got on that last attempt, so you'll do better next time. But I still find that a kind of interesting way of doing it. I like the idea of environments playing a factor. Racing near lava has the potential to overheat you, so if you use your afterburner while you're near these heat sources, that can make you explode. And also on the ice worlds, you can freeze up if you don't pass through these heated sections to keep from freezing. I think that like adds a nice little extra element, a little bit of strategy, and not just hold down, you know, accelerate and go through the fastest route. The takedowns, where it gives you the slow motion destruction, looks great, really calling back to Burnout on that one. I also really like the fact that you can walk around the paddock before races as well. I think that's a fun little addition. So yeah, while I'm not personally super dissuaded by the pod racing news, I can see that a lot of people are, and I'm not going to say that, like, you shouldn't be upset or anything like that. I just, for me personally, it's not that big of a deal. Again, I think the trailers very clearly got across that this was focused on the repulsor craft, the land speeders, the speeder bikes, it's not a surprise to me. You can certainly race pods in the arcade mode by the looks of it. There is online races. Whether or not those include the pod racers, I have no idea at this point. I also don't know the number of different pods you can pilot, whether it's just Sebulba, whether there's other ones, I have no idea. I don't know, I just don't really have it in me to get mad at this like other people are right now. Mainly because this is the bonus Star Wars game for me, I guess. You know, I'm waiting for Zero Company in August. That's my Star Wars game of 2026. Galactic Racer is just like the little treat I get in October. I also think it's really cool that they've got a bunch of familiar faces popping up throughout this game. Obviously we've seen Sebulba and Bed Quadraneros pop up in trailers and that, but there's also people like Griff Halloran from Resistance. I think I'm maybe one of 6 people in the world who caught that reference. Same with Oddie Mandrell, one of the pod racers from episode 1. I don't know, I'm excited for this one. I think it looks fun, especially because at the moment I've been playing a bunch of Forza Horizon 6, so I'm just really feeling the racing stuff at the moment. So yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of in for it. I really am. I think the game looks really fun, and I'm honestly really excited to play it. I mean, the only thing that's annoying me is that it comes out the week that I go to Melbourne for PAX, so I'm not going to be able to play much of it on release week. But yeah, there are a ton of different previews out there. Go out, watch them, read a whole bunch of stuff, look at a whole bunch of footage, and decide whether or not this is still the game for you. Anyway, that's going to do it for me for now. Thank you for watching. If you like this and you like talking about Star Wars, make sure you follow me here at Cubcause Cantina and over on TikTok, also Cubcause Cantina. Once again, thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you, always.